have porn like this that is essentially doing exactly the same thing and making SLOP that is stealing people's information and completely fooling people into thinking that they actually are looking at unique human-generated content. People are using AI to create influencers with Down syndrome who sell nudes. Gross. A network of Instagram accounts is using AI to steal content from creators and deepfake their faces to make them look like they have Down syndrome. Wow. 404 Media was able to determine the accounts are linked because they reuse the same Instagram bios, videos, and in some cases the same OnlyFans competitors' pages where they monetize these videos. So it sounds like everything the right wing does and like everything capitalists do, that they tried to cut as many corners as possible so that way they could save money with these weird AI bots, and it ended up coming back to bite them in the ass. 404 Media has written multiple stories on the rapidly growing practice of people stealing content from real human creators and using AI to replace their faces with AI-generated faces, posting that AI-modified content to Instagram and funneling viewers to adult content platforms where they can be monetized. What started as just a few accounts quickly evolved into an entire industry with specialized tools, advertising strategies, and influencers who sell courses on how to create these fake influencers to get rich quick through what they call AI pimping. Super gross. AI does not make real people, it just makes facsimiles of what real people look like, and it's basically just a repetition of whatever's been fed into its own machine. So when we talk about this kind of thing like AI pimping, it is really gross. Newer accounts in recent months have started catering to increasingly specific niches and fetishes, including accounts of AI-generated women with amputated limbs. The AI-generated Down syndrome accounts are the latest and newest low for Instagram, which allows the rampant content theft that enables this practice and is now fueling a non-consensual fetishization and monetization of fake people with disabilities. This is super gross. I think another thing to kind of point out here is some of the stuff that YouTube is doing as well. There was recently a story up here in Colorado where there was actually an influencer, a true crime influencer, who used AI to generate a bunch of their stories, and enough people thought that they were real, that they did an investigation to find that these crimes never happened. So you have these SLOP accounts making entirely fictional like crime stories and publishing them, and then getting them recognized by legitimate outlets because they look that legitimate. And then you have porn like this that is essentially doing exactly the same thing and making SLOP that is stealing people's information and completely fooling people into thinking that they actually are looking at unique human-generated content.
A video about a supposed murder in Littleton went viral this week. Millions of views online. Only one problem. It's totally false. Our Kelly Rinke talked to a district attorney who's worried AI technology could impact real cases.
True Crime Case Files brands itself on YouTube as a go-to spot for true crime content. The concept caught on quickly, more than 85,000 subscribers in less than 1 year. There were 200,000 views on a video about a jealous husband in Fort Collins who killed his wife in 2019. That caught the attention of the county's top prosecutor.
Where in the world did this come from?
Larimer County's District Attorney Gordon McLaughlin says this true crime doc is totally fake.
Definitely not a real case, not based on a real case, not even remotely similar to any real cases. Totally pulled out of thin air.
The video is among more than 100 others on the channel that appear to be made using AI. A program creates 25-minute films, uses the same few still images, and a narrator to tell the story. And below the videos are hundreds of comments from people convinced they're true.
If people start distrusting reports of crimes, that might mean people start distrusting real victims of crimes.
DA McLaughlin worries how fake crimes can impact real ones.
So anything that's spread this widely and then people find out they've been duped and it's not real, that sows distrust in the entire system.
In a courtroom, his job is to convince a jury that evidence proves someone is guilty of a crime without a doubt. But what if people start questioning the pictures and videos they see?
So AI changing photos, changing videos, creating whole photos or videos out of thin air, um, that can really impact our ability to have a jury trust us.
Another video got almost 2 million views about a murder in Littleton. The police department said the case is totally made up. Fake stories on this channel are being posted almost every single day.
They can just scam more people and trick more people.
District attorneys in Colorado tell me they haven't heard of other channels like this, but this technology really makes it possible for more people to make this type of fake content.
The biggest one of these accounts I've seen is called Maria Dopari and has over 180,000 followers on Instagram. That account follows several other accounts with similar name conventions and identical videos, including one simply called Maria, which has over 39,000 followers. The face swaps are pretty convincing and hard to notice, especially when scrolling quickly through Reels. But if you look closely, you can see the face sometimes has that too smooth quality that's common with AI image generation, as well as slight visual errors around the mouth, tongue, and teeth. So it sounds like one of the things that AI has always had problems with is the small details of like your hands or the small details of like the textures of your face. And it sounds like this porn is getting exactly that same issue as well. There are plenty of real influencers with Down syndrome on Instagram who share motivational or modeling content. These AI generated accounts are not trying to imitate that content, but rather they are focused on sexualizing the AI generated personas so that they can promote adult content they can then monetize. So again, this is something that is created just to monetize, to collect people's data, hardworking content creators' data, so that way they can feed it into an AI algorithm, disguise it as something else, and resell it to whoever will pay for it. They all criticize my Down syndrome until I decided to wear tight clothes. Text in one of Maria's videos says while she wraps a t-shirt tightly around her waist to show off her body. OnlyFan? Text in another Maria video says as she dances. No. Only down? Yes. Crying emoji, crying laughing emoji, crying laughing emoji. At some point, Maria also posted the exact same videos as Maria Dopari, but with a different face. It appears that for these 3 videos posted between March 6th and March 8th, the Maria account accidentally used a face from one of its other personas called Lana, which posts under several usernames under some variation of Lana.down, the biggest of which has 43,800 followers. The Maria account then continued posting with the face it used regularly. In some cases, 404 Media was able to identify the original videos. Let's zoom in on this. On the left is a face swap face usually used by Maria Dopari. On the right, a different face used in the same video posted by a similar account called Maria. Ah, I see. So this is exactly what I was describing earlier. Essentially, people are taking users' content, uploading them into an algorithm, letting that algorithm decide what features people want to see the most, and then uploading that same content as their own. It's really similar to that true crime story that I talked about. Same idea. These are models that are essentially just algorithms that were fed by basically content thieves into an AI model that then created this other content that they used to basically steal money from people, because a lot of the people buying this AI content and paying money for it don't realize it's actually AI. Another account called Zelia Videos, which has 112,000 followers, says in its bio, "I'm special not because I have Down syndrome, but because I don't let it define my life." It links to the FanView page that does not disclose that it's AI generated, but many of the still images on the Instagram account clearly are. Additionally, several reels, which have been edited to make the women in the videos look like she has Down syndrome, were posted weeks early by a different account with an entirely different face. Let's see what these photos look like. Wow! Honestly, this feels super offensive. An Instagram account using face swaps to create a persona with Down syndrome on this side, and then on this side, the video that was pirated to create this image. Almost none of the Instagram accounts I've seen self-identify as being AI generated. Let me read that again. Almost none of the Instagram accounts I've seen self-identify as being AI generated. And judging by the comments on the videos, it appears that a lot of people believe they are real. However, unlike Instagram, OnlyFans has a strict policy against AI-generated content unless it features the verified creator and explicitly says it's made using AI. So these accounts can't post that content on that platform. They can and do monetize on FanView, which does allow people to monetize AI-generated content as long as it's labeled as such. Both Maria Dopari and Maria link out to the same FanView account, which states Maria has an AI face. Just a girl with a little something extra. Ha ha, the FanView bio says, which is written in French. Of course, they have to sneak in some transphobia because we all know the classic insult of, oh, she's trans, she's a girl with a little extra. In this case, oh, she's AI, she's just a girl with a little extra, even though that extra means that she's not actually a person. Instagram bios for other accounts that promote the Maria persona are also written in French and follow a similar formula, saying she is French, 23 years old, that she has Down syndrome, and is neuroatypic. Another account which produces the same kind of content on Instagram does disclose that it's AI generated and that the person behind it does not really have Down syndrome. It also links out to a FanView page which includes the following disclaimer. By purchasing, you understand that I am an AI modified avatar. I do not actually have Don't syndrome. I don't actually have Don't syndrome. Not to be confused with Down syndrome. I have Don't syndrome. A Reddit community called I won't say that out loud, was also started on February 8th and so far only includes 2 posts, both of which are by the moderator and are promoting content from the Maria persona. Reddit and the moderator of that community did not respond to requests for comment. Instagram, FanView, and none of the accounts I reached out to responded to a request for comment. So none of these places responded to a request for comment. And on top of that, it seems like all of this is super just irresponsible to allow. And the fact that people are actually making money off of it is really disgusting.